At some point in your past, you drew a picture of your future. It lived inside your head with a quiet certainty that felt less like a wish and more like a promise. By this age, you were supposed to have built something solid. You had a timeline for your career, a vision for your relationships, and a benchmark for how confident and settled you were supposed to feel. The person in that imagined future had solved all the problems you are still struggling to navigate. Life did not respect your blueprint. It took sharp, unexpected turns. Plans collapsed under the weight of circumstances you couldn't predict. Opportunities evaporated. People you assumed would walk beside you chose different paths or quietly drifted away. The timeline shattered until the life you were living looked nothing like the one you prepared for. And now you carry an invisible grief that almost nobody talks about. It is not grief for a person who died. It is grief for the ghost of the person you were supposed to become. That figure lingers in every quiet moment, reminding you that you are behind schedule and whispering that the distance between your actual life and your imagined life is the measure of your failure. That ghost is lying to you. Comparing your actual experience to an imagined future is measuring a real, messy human life against a fantasy that never had to survive reality. The ghost in your head never lost a job, never had its heart broken, and never faced sudden grief or financial strain. Of course, the imagined version looks cleaner. It was never real enough to get messy. Marcus Aurelius, ruling the volatile Roman Empire, wrote in his private journal, "Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart." The most powerful man on earth still had to remind himself to stop measuring his actual reign against what he imagined it would be, and start working with what fate had handed him. If he needed that reminder, you are allowed to need it too. Every ounce of energy spent mourning the life you thought you'd have is energy stolen from the life you are living. You cannot build a home inside a memory, and you cannot live inside a phantom. Look at the person standing here right now, carrying the weight, surviving the losses, and still choosing to keep moving forward when the plan fell apart. That person is not a disappointment. That person is a testament to resilience that the fantasy never had to demonstrate, because the fantasy never faced a real fight. Release the fictional timeline. Stop measuring your progress against a story written by a younger version of yourself who knew nothing about the world. Your life did not go wrong. It went real. And real is the only place where anything that actually matters gets built. Open your hands, let the ghost go, and give your actual self the room it needs to finally arrive. Every night, you replay conversations you cannot change. You run alternate versions in your head, searching for the exact moment where a different word might have yielded a different result. You try to predict outcomes, manage variables, and influence how others perceive you, believing that if you stay alert enough, nothing will ever blindside you again. We confuse control with safety. We tell ourselves that if we hold tightly enough to everything around us, we can stay ahead of the pain. But the things that break us rarely come from the direction we were obsessively watching. They arrive from where our hands could not reach. Epictetus built his philosophy around one fundamental distinction. Some things are in our control and others are not. In our control are our opinions, impulses, and desires. Not in our control are our bodies, possessions, reputations, and the actions of others. Look at where your emotional energy goes. Other people's choices, their perception of your character, the timing of events, and outcomes you influenced but do not own. All of these live entirely in the second list. None of it is yours to govern, yet trying to manage it costs you everything. When you try to control what was never yours, you aren't creating safety. You are constructing a prison of perpetual exhaustion. Pour your effort into what actually belongs to you, your choices, your effort, and your posture toward what arrives uninvited. Release the rest. Releasing it was always the only honest choice you had. There is a quiet drain on your spirit that comes from waiting. You wait for an apology from someone who lacks the self-awareness to ever give it. You maintain resentment as if your ongoing pain is enforcing a debt they will one day pay. But resentment is a punishment you inflict on yourself while imagining it reaches them. Seneca wrote, "How much more grievous are the consequences of anger than the causes of it." The hurt is in the past, but the anger is inside you right now, and you are the only one paying rent on someone else's damage. Forgiveness is not declaring that what they did was acceptable. Forgiveness is reclaiming the emotional real estate resentment has been occupying so you can build something worthy on it. And when life forces you to clear the ground entirely, when a relationship ends, a career collapses, or a dream dissolves, stop treating a new beginning as a regression. Starting over is not going back to zero. A person who has lived, suffered, and survived is starting from experience, not from scratch. You carry instincts, clarity, and boundaries that your younger self never possessed. As Friedrich Nietzsche famously wrote, "He who has a why to live can bear almost any how." Stop standing at the doorway of your past, waiting for conditions to be perfect, for apologies to arrive, or for fear to subside before you move. Readiness is not a feeling that arrives before action. It is a state created by action itself. Open your hands, release the grudges that poison you, release the control you never held, and step forward into the life waiting on the other side of your grip. Your hands are not empty, they are finally ready. If this message reached you at the exact moment you needed to hear it, do not let it end as just another video you watched. Claim this moment. Leave a comment below right now and state your commitment. I am letting go.